Sister always steals my food, so I made a fool of myself at her graduation to stop her. I grew up in a house full of people, 2 parents, 2 brothers, and a sister right in the middle who always knew how to play the system. My parents did what they could to raise us to be decent humans, kind, respectful, generous. That meant a lot of share with your sibling moments, even when you really didn't want to, especially when I didn't want to, because while I wasn't naturally the most giving kid, I also wasn't trying to be taken advantage of. But my sister, she mastered it. Every time we went on road trips or family outings, my parents would buy us candy to keep the peace in the car. My go-to was always Sour Patch watermelon. It wasn't often we got sugary stuff, so when I had a bag, it was a moment. My sister, though, would always say she didn't want anything. No candy for her, she'd say. And then 20 minutes into the ride, she'd lean over and start grabbing pieces from my bag. And my brothers. Every time. It wasn't just annoying, it was calculated. She'd decline when offered, knowing full well she'd just borrow hours later. I started warning her in the store, telling her if she wanted candy, she should get her own. She'd always insist she was fine, only to end up reaching into my bag the minute we hit the highway. And my parents, trying to reinforce kindness, would guilt me into sharing. Don't be selfish, they'd say, as my sister sat there with candy she didn't pay for and didn't even ask for until it was too late to say no. I tried hiding my candy, eating it fast, sneaking it, but she always found a way, and my parents always sided with her. It became a pattern. She'd refuse to get her own dessert, snack, or drink, only to dip into mine later. And if I protested, I was the problem. This wasn't just a childhood thing either. It followed us into our teenage years. I'd get fries. She'd just have a few. I'd grab a milkshake. Suddenly it was a shared item. She never asked for much, just a bite or two, but those bites added up. They were always mine, and they were never given willingly. By the time she graduated college, I had a decade of food theft burned into my brain, and that's when my moment came. We were at a fancy restaurant to celebrate her graduation. She was 22, I was a senior in high school. The table was packed. Immediate family, relatives, her college friends, and her long-term boyfriend. Everyone was dressed nice, acting fancy, and I was just trying to survive this social gauntlet without looking like a complete dork. Dinner ended and dessert menus came out. I ordered a vanilla bean cheesecake topped with a massive burnt sugar bird's nest that looked like something out of a baking competition. My mom offered to get my sister whatever she wanted. She declined, said she was full, and then, as the desserts arrived, she dropped the classic line, "I'll just have a bite of everyone's." Something snapped. I didn't speak. I didn't argue. I just picked up the whole cheesecake slice, sugar sculpture and all, and stuffed the entire thing into my mouth in one motion. Caramel shattered. Cheesecake collapsed. Crumbs flew. My mouth was overflowing. I looked insane. A chipmunk on a sugar bender. The table went silent. My sister was horrified. Her boyfriend blinked like he didn't know what universe he had entered. Everyone stared, but I chewed, slowly, intentionally, and I locked eyes with her the whole time. She never asked for my food again, but it didn't end there. 2 weeks later, she reached toward my fries at a backyard barbecue. Just instinct, really. She caught herself halfway, froze, and pulled her hand back. I smiled. She noticed. Now I make sure to show up to family meals with something good, just for me.